News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Western Montana could be in for a rough ride weather-wise the next couple of days. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Monday, June the 1st, 2015. And in my book, June 1st means the first day of summer. I know it's not the same on the calendar, but that's just the way I've always worked. Right now, it's partly cloudy after a rather tumultuous weekend of weather. We've got 56 degrees in Missoula right now. And our newscast this morning, sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community in Stevensville. Call 777-5387. After a conversation I had with Leanne Allegretto with the National Weather Service earlier this morning, I decided to pretty much dedicate this opening newscast to the weather that we'll be experiencing here in the next couple of days. Leanne, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Now, you and I had quite the interesting conversation here about an hour and a half ago.
We did.
Let's talk about, people have been talking like crazy. There's pictures on Facebook and all over the internet of the hail we had yesterday
Yes.
and the big gully washers we've had the last couple of days. But I understand that may just be the beginning.
Yeah, I think we saw a pretty good hint, or at least a little peek at what we're expecting today. Today has always been under our gun the entire weekend, and Saturday and Sunday's weather was kind of just a little preview of sorts, and I think today's going to be kind of rocking and rolling depending on your exact location.
So tell me what and when it might be coming through and what we can expect.
Sure. We're definitely expecting an active day as far as thunderstorms are concerned. Now, the past couple of days we've seen one here, one there. One clip the northern edge of Missoula, one clip the southern edge, depending on the day. But I think we're going to see much more widespread storms today. All across western Montana and all of the Bitterroot Valley and Missoula Valley especially. And I do think that the clouds will start getting bigger and more ominous, around noon. And I think by late afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock p.m., we should start really hearing the thunder and start to see a little.
Now, those of us who have been up all night, like me and we've been counting, trying to count lightning strikes. And again, this may just be a precursor to what we could expect the next day or so, right? Yeah,
I think our biggest concern, and it's been this way all weekend, very consistent, has been the amount of rainfall we're seeing out of these storms, and we're expecting that again today. So our biggest threat, aside from the dangerous lightning, of course, is the heavy rain. And there's been, localized urban flooding in Missoula just from the two or three storms we've seen. Overnight, we got at least 0.2 of rain out of the one storm that came through overnight, and that's in a very small amount of time. And anytime you have that kind of rainfall in of such a brief amount of time, flash flooding is definitely a concern, and we are worried about that today, all day with any storm that happens. And, urban flooding and flash flooding, especially in areas, like the Lolo fire, the burn scar, that's a huge concern of ours.
All right. Now, tell me, if you would, just exactly what happens in those burn scar areas when heavy rains occur very rapidly.
Well, because it burned so hot when the wildfire occurred, it really just torched all the undergrowth. There's nothing in the soil to soak up any rainfall. So when we have a thunderstorm that puts down such intense rain in a very small amount of time, there's nowhere for it to go. It just doesn't get soaked up. It doesn't drift into any tributaries. It just runs. And unfortunately, there are homes and property at the mouth of some of those canyons that were affected by the burn, where all that water will collect, and it brings down rocks and dead trees and dead limbs, and it can be a real huge impact to those people if it makes it to their homes or their properties.
So I imagine that the folks at Missoula Emergency Services at the county and the city will be keeping a close eye on this situation as well. Is that correct?
We're in direct contact with them. We have a great partnership. They're always monitoring, and I'm sure that there'll be eyes to the sky today with the rest of us.
All right. Now, as far as staying safe in this weather, what do you suggest? I realize there's a lot of folks that work outside. It's the beginning of a new work week, a brand new month. So for the next couple of days, how can we protect ourselves?
Well, anytime. If you hear thunder, go indoors. Be prepared. Keep an eye, if you can, to a radio or on the TV or your cell phone. There's plenty of apps out there. We get our warnings out. Those are disseminated in all kinds of ways. Just keep, if you don't have access to any of that, just keep your eye on the sky and be safe when you hear or see flashes in the horizon. Lightning strikes they can happen miles and miles away, but they can extend just as far. So you don't have to be right under the core of a storm to really, feel its brunt. So,
sure. Now let me ask you this. If folks do live in areas that could be susceptible to flash flooding, at what point do we say, okay, we just need to get in the car and get away?
That's a good question. I would say if you see a widespread development on your radar or on TV, if you're watching on your computer or your app, just be smart. It's better to be prepared than to be scared and you don't know what to do afterwards. So just try and have a plan and just monitor. We'll be here all day and we're here all night, so
sure, of
you
course.
can always call us too.
I understand. 329-4840 in case you didn't know the number. And we want to scare people. We just want people to be prepared.
Oh, always.
Just in case, right?
Yes. That's why. That's essentially why we're here, just to prepare people, and we always accept phone calls. So if you're concerned, you're working outside, or you had plans, kids got a baseball game or something, feel free to call us. We will take your calls.
All right. Now, how long will this pattern stay with us, and when will we get some relief?
Well, the worst stuff that we're expecting today should only last today, and it may trickle into the overnight hours tonight. However, a few lingering storms are possible tomorrow, but we should see much more improvement by midweek into late week. So I think after today we'll be in the clear. All
right. Leanne Allegretto, thank you for sharing that information. And again, that number for the National Weather Service office, in case you want to write this down, might be a good idea, 329-4840, right?
Yep, you got it.
Leanne, thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you.
All right. That's Leanne Allegretto. She's meteorologist with the National Weather Service. So there you go. That is the reason I put that on with such length is because she was quite passionate about letting folks know about the possible dangers of what could, again, big capital C, of what could happen later today and tonight. So now we're all prepared.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
It looks like a rocky start to the work week with scattered showers and thunderstorms developing today. Some thunderstorms could be strong, producing hail, gusty winds, and heavy rain. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Rain expected this evening through Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.